What's up everyone, Jammy here back again with some more WWE Champions content, and today's video is a follow-up on the one I did a few weeks ago, which revealed what I found about double procking the Royal Rumble plates. So for those who don't remember, there are certain characters who have double moves that the first move does enough gem breakage that can actually proc the Rumble plate twice. Now, I did say in that video that I didn't think there were going to be many, and admittedly it's not like half the characters or anything, but I thought it was worth going to do a scroll through, and I did find 15 that can definitely do it from my perspective. So I'm going to drop those in today and show you how each one can set off the plate. Obviously 15 people, potentially going to be a bit of a longer video, so I will try and keep this as short and simple as possible. But let's jump over into the roster and we'll take a look at the first one. Alrighty, so first in the list then is a little bit of an outsider, because I know that there's going to be a number of people who won't have Leonardo Seth Rollins. But yeah, I wanted to put it in there anyway because he can break it. So he can break enough to double proc the Royal Rumble plates. So what you are looking at really are just simply these two moves here, the Terrapin Spin and the Cowabunga. So you'll use the Terrapin Spin to create a 3x3 of cross breaks, and the Cowabunga, so the first 1x7 you'll use to break the cross breaks, which, if my math is correct, should break about 33 gems. I believe it's 33, which is enough to hit the Rumble plate. And then obviously you've got the second move to break another 7x1 area of greens, but you could even just ignore that if you so chose, and that should double proc the Rumble plate. So Leonardo Seth then, our first choice, and let's go and see next. Alright, so number 14 in the list is someone that actually surprised me when I found that he could do it, is Tongaloa of the New Bloodline. So Tongaloa has his triple blue moveset here, and I mean, you can see fairly sure that these top two moves are the ones again we're going to need. So you make 30 random gems into Pyro Gems, which will create purple, and you use the diving headbutt to choose a 7x2 area to swap into blue, and so long as you have not had horrendous luck with the RNG on these Pyro Gems, you should hopefully be able to break enough to proc the Royal Rumble plate, which then, because his finisher is a double move, will proc twice. So yeah, Tongaloa also goes on to the list. So that's number 14. Let's go and see 13. Alright, number 13 is Cora Jade, the Generation of Jade. Probably not a character we're going to see a whole lot of, especially now that she has left WWE in real life. But with this moveset here, the dominant ones that we need are the bottom two here. So the step up knee will make 22 countdowns that will make 3 purple gems each when the countdown runs out, and you have the running Hurricanrana. Now this is the first one I've put in where it is only specific because you need to be facing a chaotic style opponent so that you can get the countdown gem decrease in first to set off the countdowns. And obviously the second move will be doing a bonus damage for every countdown. You won't have any left on the board by this point because you will have counted them down and blown the board up with purples, but my assumption, having not tested this one admittedly, is that once you decrease the countdown gem timers, blow the board up with purple, this should be the second move, which should double proc a Rumble plate if you so choose. So that is Cora Jade. And following on from Cora Jade, we have the Scottish powerhouse Piper Niven. So another female that can set this off. And we're looking at a tricolour here for Piper. So lowering a crossbody, you lay out your 6x5 pyro gems, obviously place them towards the bottom of the board. You would use the cannonball to make 6 gems into red. You would use that to break the bottom row of your pyros, which should set off your rumble plate, and then it's a double move, so it should double proc. And hopefully, I mean, you may need a trainer or coach to boost your MP charge, but that could charge then the Loch Ness Slam, which you can use to recharge the cannonball, and the low angle crossbody will recharge itself. So it's not a one turn recycle, you would need a turn in between, but certainly it could work for Piper Niven, and I do believe that you would double proc the rumble plate, so she goes on to the list. So number 11 then is going to be Sami Zayn, the Great Dudinator. So as you can see, I don't have Sami myself. I've been looking this one up on the portal with the moveset, but you would be looking at Sami's triple green probably for this. So it's the hop diving crossbody here that is going to set off the rumble plate twice. But if you run the triple green, you can run the exploder suplex to increase your green gem damage. You hit the springboard at tornado DDT, lay your pyros on the top, lay your leeches on the bottom, and then you would use the crossbody. So the 7x5 you would use to destroy your leeches, basically destroy the bottom 5 rows. And then the second move would destroy the pyros, but obviously you would be double proccing the rumble plate based on the 7x5 destruction with the first of these 2 moves. So yeah, Sami Zayn also goes on to the list. Okay, into the top 10 then, and at number 10 we have John Cena, the special edition version of Hustle, Loyalty and Respect. So another character that I don't have, but the moves, so you have here the leaping shoulder block. This is the move that will be double proccing your rumble plate, and it will do so when you choose the 6 red gems in order to break the 5 knuckle shuffles pyro gems that you lay out on the bottom row, and these pyro gems will make all above into red. So you would lay out your pyros, you would hit the leaping shoulder block, choose the reds to break the bottom row. That would break enough gems to double proc your rumble plate then, with the second move of increasing all of your move damage. And then just for the sake of refill, you would probably use the sit out hip toss. But yeah, so that's a nice and easy setup there for John Cena Special Edition. On to number 9. Okay, so turns out that I made an error of judgment when making this list, and when I looked at what was our number 9 option, the Zombie Usos, I didn't twig that they don't actually make enough and break enough gems to activate the Royal Rumble plate. So number 9 goes out the window, and we will move on to number 8, which is Shredder Roman Reigns. Again, appreciate, same as with Leonardo Seth, this is a little bit of an outsider, quite a rare one. And I will also add that there does need to be an element of RNG to this as well. So welcome to Shredderville, you make the bottom of 4 rows into multiplies, and Shadow of Evil you make 28 multiplies into purple. So in this instance you would need 1 cascade to double rock the rumble plate. So as I said, little element of RNG to this, but definitely capable of it, because if you get that 1 cascade when you break these multiplies, that will double proc, because you have the second move here which destroys 49 random greens. Not that you're ever going to have that many on the board to destroy. So that is definitely going to be a potential with Roman Reigns Shredder. And like I said, not like I said, but you do then have the Might of the Foot, which is a MP charge for both of these, so you can refill and go at it again straight after. So that is number 8, and we will move on to number 7. And number 7, it is time for Mommy. Rhea Ripley, Mommy's on top. And we are looking probably at this setup here. So this is not going to be a turn 1. It is going to require the submission, and it is going to require a little bit of luck in any mode that is not faction boss, because you would be wanting to keep at least 30 of the multiply gems on, at least 30 of the submission gems on the board to leave multiplies, which you can then destroy with the electric chair face buster. But if you do manage it, then that will be a guaranteed double proc of the Royal Rumble plate. And as I said, certainly in faction boss, for a female boss, this would actually be very useful for, if nothing else, as a shield breaker, because this would then mean that you can guarantee a double proc of the Rumble plate for whatever colour you put on with the Rumble plate. So yeah, definitely a potential for faction boss as a hell of a shield breaker. So that is Mommy, and we move on then to number 6. And with number 6 comes a Devil's Kiss from La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer. So Stephanie, we are looking only at 2 moves to double proc the Rumble plate. You would need the headbutt to make a 7x5 area into cross breaks, and then you need the Devil's Kiss itself. So choose a 7x1 to swap into black, which you would use to break the cross breaks, which will blow up the whole board. And then you have the second move to make another 7x1 into black gems. But because of the first move, you would be able to double proc a Rumble plate. So if you bump up on black gem damage, stick a black Rumble plate on Stephanie, and you get a nice double dose of the Royal Rumble plate. So that is another one down, and we move into the top 5. And starting in the top 5, we have Zombie Bret Hart. And I will admit, this is one that I actually quite like, not just because you can double proc a Rumble plate, but you can actually get some health back while you're doing it. So the Snapbone Suplex lets you lay out 32 Leech Gems, and the Undying Pointed Elbow lets you make 32 Leech Gems into red gems. And then you swap a random 2x3 into yellow, so obviously the first part you would be making 32 leeches into red, and barring some very nasty RNG, you should be able to break at least 30 in most instances. And that will give you a double proc of the Royal Rumble plate. So if you you could stick a red on there, which would obviously give you additional reds from the leech. Or you could stick a yellow on there and really buff the hell out of Bret's primary colour. So definitely a couple of options there that you could use for the Rumble plate on Bret. But yeah, like I said, I enjoy that one because that is healing yourself while also getting a nice chunk of damage. So that is Zombie Bret. So number 4 then, and we are going to take a look at Tech Charlotte Flair, Bow Down to the Queen. So this is her standard triple bloom moveset, and this is probably one more for people that don't have a Green Piper's power plate, because if you do, that would obviously be the first choice. But if you don't, then this would certainly be a good one for double procking the Rumble plate instead. Play it as you normally would Charlotte in this instance, so increase the green gem damage, make the bottom row into pyros, and then you break a 7x6. That 7x6 would be all of the rows above the pyros, and then you would use the 7x1 to break the pyros afterwards. But obviously breaking the 7x6, that is over 30 gems, so you would then incur a double proc of the Rumble plate. So yeah, definitely another option for an ultimate plate for Tech Charlotte. And with that, we move on into the top 3, and to be fair, the top 3 are probably going to be all ones that you are likely aware of already. Number 3 being Nia Jax, the Queen of the Ring. So Nia, we are looking at these 2 moves here, the running hip attack, so you will make a 30 column of 30 gems into column breaks. And then increase your black gem damage, and then the stink face, which is the one that will set off the rumble plate, so you make 30 column breaks into black gems, so that should destroy the entire board. And then the second move destroys 49 random gems, so that basically is a second bomb off the board, and that will double proc your Royal Rumble plates, or in my case, because this is one I use for, on her, is the Ring Royalty plate. So obviously just to bear in mind that that does also count in amongst the Royal Rumble plates as well. So on from Nia, we will go to number 2. And number 2 is going to be King Gunther. So obviously you guys are going to be aware of this when I showed this off in the original video that I did when I first revealed that this could actually happen. So anyone who didn't watch it, I will quickly explain. The Thunderous Chop, you make a 3x7 into multiplies, and then you make a 7x1 into column breaks, and the last Symphony will destroy those column breaks and blow up the board. But because it is a double finisher, if you have a rumble plate, it will give you a double proc. So again, that Gunther is another one that comes in a great handy on. And we're going to go on to number 1, who for me is by far and away the best person to use for double procking a rumble plate. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Pearl of the Orient, the Great Muta. So, for anyone who doesn't know, and I don't imagine that's a lot of people at this point, the Great Muta has this Asian Mist move for increase your purple gem damage by 999% for 1 turn. And then the Shining Wizard, which basically destroys the board twice. Now, Muta was the original, I believe for me, the original double proc of the Rumble, because he blew the board twice. Everyone believed that was the reason you got the double proc. And if you put a purple rumble plate on him, the damage is very, very nice. So certainly when it comes to this double proc system, for me Muta is far and away the best choice. But you may disagree with me. I know certainly Nia is useful for other game modes. Charlotte, Gunther, among others, can do a hell of a lot of damage. But yeah, so that is our list of 14, as it turns out, because I messed up on the usos, so it's 14, not 50. People that can double proc the rumble plate. So hopefully this has been useful for you. I appreciate this has been a lot longer video than I normally put out, but I'm hoping that it's been useful, and by all means, if there is anyone on this list that maybe you didn't know could do this, and you think you can make use of it, then please drop a comment in, let me know. And also, if you do catch anyone, if I've missed someone, again, let me know in the comments down below. But otherwise, guys, that is going to be it from me. So please do all of the good stuffs, the likes, the shares, and the subscribes, and keep jamming, and have a nice day.